And we quickly shift our attention to the latest coming in from Manipur. Remember, our focus has been on the ethnic clashes, and there are certain instances of kidnapping that have come to the fore as well, which are being looked very closely by the state government. Mega CNN News 18 exclusive. We have details now with our channel accessing the Kuki strategy to continuously attacking Jiribam. Jiribam is one of the places in Manipur which has seen a lot of tension the last few months. Top intelligence sources now telling us that infrastructure and border control is important before going all out for separate administration. Sources also suggesting that there have been indiscriminate firing instances in the recent past by a Kuki mob from the hills targeting Methi settlements in Jiribam itself for a designed reason. So there is a purpose in place here. As per intel sources, Jiribam is crucial lifeline for Manipur railways and the highway as well. So it's well connected. It's a strategic location, strategic destination, and that's why this is being looked at by the armed mob very, very closely. I want to go across to Anand Narasimhan joining us with more. Anand, tell us a little bit about why this location is very crucial to the ongoing clashes, because for the longest time it was largely peaceful. It's only the last few months that we've seen a lot of tensions in Jiribam.
Well, there was a certain suspension of all violence or activity, and there was a certain amount of dole that was also paid to all these groups. Now, this is not everyone in all. There are certain groups which are a which have assumed certain militant proportions, and they get a certain level of protection because of the tribal connection and the roots and the or similarity in roots. But the other thing is that there is a Kuki Chin Zo combine that's being worked, even though the tribes have been at war and at loggerheads in the past, irrespective of the geographical boundaries that they are currently guided by. But historically, there has been an equation there. But now there seem to be a certain unification that is happening, which is a combination of multiple factors. But amongst these largely peaceful groups, there are certain groups which are a little militant and more aggressive. And in their point of view, there are these who are working against the interests of the Indian state. And their intent is to carve out a portion of Manipur, certain portions of small portions of Mizoram, then the Kuki-Chin region in Myanmar, which is witnessing a huge amount of strife and conflict, and also certain portions of Bangladesh. Now, Sheikh Hasina had mentioned this, and there is this entire conversation of a greater Kuki land, which has been spoken about in the past, and even a British historian in the early 1900s had chronicled this, that somewhere this is something which is being harbored. Now, this lot, what they want to do is they also want to cut out. They want to prepare in such a way that they are in a position from where they can then hold a choke-like grip, vice-like grip on the lifeline, and that brings all the connectivity, even all the way into Imphal, and also going further into Meghalaya and to other states, including Nagaland. And that is this region that is Jiribam. Now, in this Jiribam region, there is a strategic highway that passes through several Kuki-dominated areas also, including Kangpokpi. Uh, so now this is where they want to actually snap. And if they snap the connectivity, then they will be able to seize control and exercise a certain level of domination and maintain a particular stranglehold on the valley, and also exercise a certain influence in the Naga-dominated districts as well. So now then there are these Naga elements on the other side who have also been quietly working. Now, although there are political differences and also overall goal differences and also tribal strife, but somewhere the lure of money, or somewhere many are saying that their funding is coming from the burgeoning drug economy there, and also other elements who are influencing them to act in such a way which is against the interests of the Indian state. So this is where the next strategic pincer-like group hold could happen, and we could see strife around Jiribam, because that's where the connectivity is, and whoever controls the passage and the highways then also calls the shots. So that was what the Pakistanis tried in Kargil and in 1999, by trying to cut off the main highway and then cut off connectivity, and then their force thereby exercised domination in the region, and those attempts were thwarted. when the critical hilltops were snatched back by the Indian forces. Now, a similar attempt could be, perhaps it is the strategy or the long-term strategy of these some of these militant outfits, so that they can perhaps use the gun and also try and work towards this entire vision of a greater Kuki land, which some of these militant groups harbor.
Anand, with the highways and railways under their control, they're of course going to be aiming for, infrastructure there. But tell us a little bit about whether or not, if they do have full control, full access through Jiribam, will they also have a greater access to the border areas? Is it strategically located in such a
If you
manner?
if you if you look at the maps very clearly, you would know that it is very close, not just on the borders of Myanmar, but the connectivity into the other states is also will be affected. What will happen is that connectivity into Manipur is via Jiribam. So this is from where that there is further connectivity into the Imphal region, into Moreh, and also it's also the gateway where the Asian highway stretching up to Moreh bypassing Palal happens, and that is in the Senapati district. So Jiribam is the district connecting the railways and the line that has reached Khongsang village in the Tamenglong district. The government has plans to move this all the way into Imphal and to Moreh. So if you hold a vice-like grip on the critical connectivity junction or the nodal point, so anything beyond that is under your control. And that's how you try to exercise domination in a particular region and try and exercise control and say that they would like this entire area to be carved off. But the intel agencies are aware of these kind of developments and they're being closely watched. And there are also groups, and like I said, that these don't enjoy mass support. They are groups which are breakaway groups, which are militant in their activity and in their ideals, but they don't represent the entire grouping. They get support because they're from similar tribes, so they get the certain tribal backing and support or cover to a certain extent. But is it being endorsed wholly and by all of them? No, that's not true.
Okay, Anand, many thanks for joining us with that detailed perspective. It does make one thing very clear, that there's a larger plan in place for the Kuki militants to gain control over Jiribam district in Manipur. Let's quickly